What's going on, you guys? It's the boy Jeameave back in Views from the Heart, and today we got a special kind of day coming. Your boy is taking baby steps, your boy is moving up, your boy is blessed. Thank you so much to Airport Marina Ford here in sunny Los Angeles, right next to the 405 as you can see in the background, and right off Centinela Boulevard, Centinela Ave. Come on down to Airport Marina Ford. They show you mad love like they're showing me love and believing in me, so that I can do what I'm doing right here. And as you guys see from the title, and you guys saw from the intro, I got a 2018 Ford Mustang Premium GT 5.0, the truly renowned, the world beloved Mustang, the crowd killer, the crowd hunter. Did all the memes, did all the jokes. Let's go ahead and let me introduce you to this bad boy and see what it's cracking, what it's doing, and what it's all about. So once again, thank you so much to Airport Marina Ford. Thank you so much, Doug, Gerry, Dan. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. And like I said, this is a 2018 Ford Mustang GT Premium with the performance pack. So let me go ahead and break down a little bit what this engine is all about, because just because it has 25 plus horsepower and 20 plus pound-feet of torque compared to 2017 and the previous generation Coyote engine, this 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 dubbed the Coyote engine, especially for 2018, has seen some rather significant changes that people want to see and understand. So let me go on and break it down for you and tell you a little bit what has changed specifically between the previous generation Coyote and what I'm technically sitting on. So let's break it down. So what's bracking in this 2018 Mustang GT Premium Coyote 5.0 liter naturally aspirated engine? It's pushing 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. As aforementioned, it's 25 plus horsepower and 20 plus pound-feet of torque compared to the 2017 model. This specific one is made into a 10-speed automatic, but like I said, as I'm breaking that further what the engine has, this engine is special because what's completely different about this engine, starting from the way the sleeves are coated, is it uses a plasma-coated cylinder linings which also include with port and fuel injection, and the RPMs have been raised by plus 500. The previous Coyote used the redline at 7,000. The 2018 Coyote now redlines at 7,500 plus RPMs, which is very impressive for a cross-plane crank V8. It's not quite on the level of the GT350 Voodoo engine, but this is still impressive nonetheless. Again, this is a cross-plane crank V8 pushing 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. The cylinder blocks, cylinder heads, and pistons are all made out of aluminum. The connection rods of this Coyote V8 are now sinter forged, as well as the crank is now steel forged. The 5.0 moniker is actually a little bit deceiving when it comes to the previous generations. The reason being because although it is and has always been called a 5-liter engine, the Coyote, it hasn't technically always been 5 liters. As a matter of fact, the previous generation Coyote was only 4.951 liters, which is now the 2018 is now technically 5.038 liters or 307 cubic inches. And the reason for that is because the plasma coated cylinder linings that is now coating the cylinder walls of this engine is actually a lot slimmer than the previous cylinder lining applications used by Ford before, meaning that the capacity and cubic inches of the engine is now increased to, well, technically 5 liters. And what's even more impressive as to why and goes with the mantra that Ford is going all out in its naturally aspirated Coyote engine is that it now shares a 12-to-1 compression ratio, which is the same as the 5.2 liter Voodoo V8, the naturally aspirated flat plane crank V8 found in the GT350 and the GT350R. It has a 12, as aforementioned, 12-to-1 compression ratio, which is incredible considering the fact that this, especially with a 10-speed automatic, can be argued is faster than the GT350, despite the fact that it's down about 60 horsepower. So it's incredible what Ford has managed to do with this Coyote engine, and it's a lot of power with a lot of torque for a naturally aspirated engine at a reasonable amount of RPMs. At just 4,600 RPMs, and like as I mentioned at the very beginning, this vehicle is now port and fuel injection. And why that is important is because of the fact that since direct injection sprays gasoline directly into the combustion chamber as opposed to the port and the cylinder head, it means that there is a possibility for a lot of residue and carbon buildup within the engine. Port and fuel injection kind of pretty much eliminates that because you have fuel going from directly into the cylinder as well as on top of it, so any residue that's built up is obviously washed away and burnt in the combustion process. So that's pretty cool, and it's a little bit different. Not many people really care about that or even really realize that, but it also means a lot more tuning options as well when it comes standard with this. Especially you rely more on the stock DME or the stock computer of this engine. You don't have to worry about auxiliary or anything like that. You keep it relatively sleek, relatively stock, and relatively safer. there's a lot more components that can be controlled by the DME. But like I said, that's a little bit different. Obviously, when it comes to the Coyote has a lot of aftermarket and tuning options, and this engine is known to take a lot of horsepower and crank out some serious heat and hurt a lot of feelings, especially when it comes to Camaro guys and the Challenger guys. But you know, we'll keep that on the hush hush. So as aforementioned, this is a 2018, and I did choose this one specifically because I wanted to find out just how much better the 10-speed automatic is and what it's like to drive in general. It sounds very weird and just even kind of nonsensical to think that this transmission is not reaching 10 gears, 10 speeds. That's a lot of gears, a lot of shifting, a lot of changing, a lot of everything. And this transmission was actually co-developed with Chevrolet, if I remember correctly. So this is the same exact transmission, more or less, that you're going to find in, you know, the 2019 or even possibly even 2018 Camaros. I'm not sure if they implemented it already, but this transmission is also within the you know, the new Raptors. So I'm very curious to find out what it is. And this transmission has managed to allow the Coyote engine to increase MPG efficiency by one. Well, I mean, one is one. It's still a lot. It's still, you know, a percentage, still an increase in efficiency. But it now gets you 16 city and 25 highway, which, you know, that's obviously attributed to the lower RPMs when coasting at highway speeds. So moving further along, this 2018 Mustang has a curb weight of 3,878 pounds, so it's not the smallest and it's not the biggest car either, but I'm really eager to see how this car handles because honestly, I really do like this car. Although the price is a little questionable to say the least. You know, it's this, realistically speaking, this is not a cheap car when you option it up. Base price is $35,000, but when you option it up, you can quickly see yourself with options eclipsing $15,000+ of that $35,000 price. You're hitting anywhere between $47,000 to $50,000 to $53,000 to $54,000, depending on, you know, like what kind of deal options you're getting, what kind of deal you're getting from the dealership and things of that nature. And that is a pretty penny to spend and what some people would consider an American car. And by that I mean some people would just never be willing to spend that much money on a Ford or a Chevy or whatever. And that's kind of disappointing to think about that because this car is very impressive. Its interior is actually very comfortable. Yes, it's not Mercedes quality, it's not BMW quality, it's not this German rival quality, but Ford is stepping up, and it's pleasing to see them step up in ways that where the interior finally reflects modern age. It doesn't look antiquated, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel anything like I mean, there are some little eyesores here and there, namely in the center console area, but other than that, this car has the looks, it has everything that one would want, and I feel personally that this car is one of the best cars you can get right now because this engine is banging, and I can't wait to take it for a drive. But let me go ahead and take you on the inside and show you what this bad boy is all about. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's go ahead and see what this bad boy is bragging about. Go ahead and jump on in. Woo-wee. As you can see, unfortunately, it doesn't have the 418 package, which includes a digital dash. That would have been amazing, but you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, Airport Marina Ford did not have one readily available in stock, so you know, I settled for the next best thing, and this is what it is. And like I said, this is a 2018 Ford Mustang GT Premium with the performance pack, and like I said, the only thing this vehicle is missing is the digital dash. I really wanted to see what a digital dash looked like and experience it because although the gauges aren't that bad, you know, but I'm just not really a big fan of retro style gauges. I want more modern. I want something that as soon as I look down, even at a glance, I can see what's going on with my car. I don't want to kind of look or squint, and I guess that's also attributed to the fact that I'm just not used to it. Obviously, if I spent more time and if I was used to this, I'd be able to see things readily easily. But compared to the videos that I've seen on the 401A package, which has the digital dash, everything, especially that red line, is just so beautiful to look at. And again, this Coyote now red lines at 7,500 RPMs, which is sinuous and just absolutely tasteful to think about, considering the fact that this is a cross-plane crank V8 and it is not a flat-plane crank V8 like the 5.2 liter naturally aspirated Voodoo engine in the GT350. Now, word on the grapevine and word on the street is the fact that the GT500 that is supposed to come out either later this year or next year, it's supposed to be coming either way, and with whatever horsepower it's going to be coming with, it is said to be a supercharged version of the Voodoo engine in the GT350. So with that in mind, anyone that follows Mustangs in general or the Coyote scene knows that these engines can take a beating and can crank out massive horsepower. You know, you slap a supercharger onto this, you know, like a Paxton kit or anything of that nature, a Vortex supercharger, anything of that nature, and this car will rip and shred the tires and offer immense amounts of fun. And that is extremely cool to think about, because this car is honestly pretty comfortable to be in. Like I said, this Ford has stepped it up a lot, and this is one of the first interiors of an American car that I've been in that I can honestly say that I would be comfortable and happy with. Again, the dash is a little bit too plasticky to me. You know, I see a little bit too, they could have done a little something to make it a little more appealing, but you know, it's nominal. Everywhere else though looks pretty premium. No pun there intended with the premium pack, but it feels nice. It's comfortable. Like I got cooled and heated seats in here. I got the AC on. Unfortunately, no sunroof. You know, that's another negative. But other than that, there's very few things that one can gripe about this interior. And you know, if you were to buy this, even if you were to spend sticker on this, you would not be disappointed. But like I said, that is, the price is a main topic of interest anyway, and I still will reserve my judgment as to whether or not it's fully worth it. I still have to drive this car, because to me personally, my main aspect on it is, if it drives the way it is, then yes, it'll probably be worth every penny, and or at least if it drives the way I'm hoping it does. But this vehicle in general definitely matches this price. Again, as I mentioned, it is not necessarily on the level of its German rivals, but it's definitely knocking on the doorstep, and it's definitely an interior that one wouldn't necessarily want to be embarrassed about, or just realize that maybe they made a huge financial error in buying something that is going to depreciate like a rock falling off a cliff or anything like that. Because sometimes it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's, a lot of times to me anyway, it's about how the car makes me feel, how it drives, and how fun it is. Do you smile ear to ear when you turn on that engine and you hear this V8 growl and wake up? Might wake up your neighbors too, but hey, anyone that's a car fanatic will love this car and appreciate it for what it is, and understand that although it's a crowd hunter, it does sound really damn good. I don't think anyone can really sit here and say that this Coyote V8 does not sound amazing. It's not necessarily on the level of the Voodoo, but it, for what it is, it's very distinct, it's very unique, and anyone that, again, that is a car aficionado can tell, you know, an LS to a Coyote to 6.4 liter Hemi, you know, the 392 and the Dodge Challengers and Chargers or anything of that nature. But overall, I'm very pleased about this interior, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that this car drives well, because this was actually a car that I was looking to possibly get in the future, because this tends to be automatic, from what I've heard, is pretty snazzy, and I'm praying and I'm hoping, like I said, I try not to be biased, try to be extremely honest when it comes to these cars, and I hope you guys enjoy my first reaction, because I've never even driven a Mustang before. I've never driven any sort of Mustang before, so this will be my Mustang cherry is being popped today. Once again, thank you so much, Doug, thank you so much, Jerry, thank you so much, Dan, here at Airport Marina Ford. Come on down and they'll take care of you really well. And like I said, with all of this happening so far, and how long it's taking me to build a relationship and, you know, keep on building and building and building, it's pleasing to know that people are taking notice of what I'm creating. And although I'm still very small, I still have a very small family, I appreciate every single one and last of my subscribers. And again, like I said, I told you I've been grinding in silence, and I still have major love for Car Lux. I'm not done with Car Lux, anything like that. Don't get it twisted, I'll be back there tomorrow. But I now have another business partner, I now have another relationship, and I couldn't be more thankful and more appreciative for this opportunity. And like I said, I'm kind of going off in the tangents here, not talking about the car, but honestly, like I said, when it comes to my channel, I want you guys to know a little bit more about me, you know, what I'm going through, and what this hoops that I kind of have to go through to get this content out, and for me to do what I appreciate and what I love doing. And I genuinely enjoy doing what I'm doing right now. Even if I'm not at the level or stage that I want to be, best believe I'll be doing everything in my power and everything that I'm willing to do to get to where I want to be in life and succeed in all of my endeavors. Because at the end of the day, and what I tell myself every morning when I wake up is, the only person stopping you from achieving your dreams is yourself. You have no one to blame. You can't blame your mom, can't blame your dad, can't blame your sister, can't blame your dog. At the end of the day, You are the only one that can make a difference when it comes to whatever it is that you decide and whatever path you choose to take in life. But going back to this car, instead of making this too much of a tangent or preaching or whatever, and like I said, I'm trying to offer a little bit of different take on when it comes to whatever I post on my channel. I'm like I said, this interior is amazing for the price, you know, for what it is. Like I said, I understand what this is. I'm not comparing it to a Mercedes. I'm not comparing it to a BMW. I'm comparing it to American contemporaries, and I can say it's definitely one of the best interiors I've personally been in when it comes to an American car. And like I said, the interior, the rear seats are well, for lack of a better word, useless. You really can't fit anyone in there. I'm 5'5", I'm not the tallest person, but even I'm very slim, especially with the sloped roof line of this vehicle. You're not fitting anyone. You're not fitting any adults back there, really, even though I'm technically an adult, and that's kind of saddening. But we can't all be blessed with everything in life. You know, you take it what it is and do with what you're given with, and that's what life is all about. Taking the best opportunity of whatever card is dealt with in your life, and I'm taking full advantage of every opportunity that comes before me. And best believe, like I said, I am doing and taking full advantage of what I can with the utmost respect. But like I said, honestly, let's see, what else can I talk about in here? I don't know what. There's not really else to talk about. I want to drive this car. Let's go ahead and jump into the driving portion and see what this bad boy is all about, because I am excited to drive this engine. Let's go ahead and take the boat for a spin, because we got my boy Jerry's gonna be sitting in me shotgun. I know he doesn't like social media like that, but he works here, so he kind of not necessarily has to do it, but he wants to do it. So let's see how this video turns out. And like I said, driving portion coming up right now. Let's jump in. What's this like driving a 2018 Ford Mustang GT Premium with performance pack? Now, as you guys can see, Jerry here. Oh, this transmission is ridiculous. This what? This 10-speed transmission is. Sorry if I scared you a little bit there, Jerry. My fault. I'm gonna see your reaction in the comment anyway. But that's, you remember when I said the same? But as you guys can see, thank you guys so much to Airport Marina Ford and my guy Jerry here sitting with me shotgun. Would it be possible thanks to them? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But with that being said, as you guys can see, and as I mentioned, this is the 10-speed auto in the 2018 GT. And you guys hear this Coyote engine? Like, my lord, this thing sounds amazing. That is 4+ mode right now. You know, I'm out here manually shifting with the paddles, and the response is pretty good so far. Now, unfortunately, as my faithful viewers know, I live in Los Angeles, so we are well, we're in traffic, so I can't really have too much fun right now. I mean, trust me, I don't want to blow the whole tires off this car. Sorry, Doug. But you know, let me just see if I can take down this residential street real quick and see if we get some things popping. That steering feels pretty nice. Are there any dips on the street, Jerry? Do you know of? Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna risk it. We'll just go fool and collect it right now and just talk a little bit about the car. And you know, so far after driving it, it's for a sport car, it rides pretty comfortable. I'm not gonna lie, this rides, especially for a sport car, it rides very comfortable, and I'm actually very pleasantly surprised. The steering feels composed, the transmission is very responsive. It still feels weird knowing that this has 10 gears. I'm so used to 6 in my car, or even 7, and at most 8, but it has an extra. I'm in 5th gear and I have 5 more gears. That's insane to think about, because that's a lot, especially like I said, I have it in manual mode, so I'm changing the gears myself. But when you think about it in that perspective, there's so many gears. Like, I'm in 3rd, 4th, 5th. Wow, look how fast the transmission shifts. I'm not even a full throttle, and by the time I finger this off of this paddle, it's already shifting, and it feels so good. The only other transmission that I feel that is comparable to this is when I did my 428i review, and that has the ZF 8-speed transmission. but this has 2 extra gears and it shifts. I still have to do a little bit more. I wish there was a straightaway that I could go to right now to really tell, but so far this is the closest transmission that has shifted, because that's the fastest transmission I've personally been in. I'm not saying it's faster than a PDK or a dual clutch, but I swear that ZF8 speed was at least on upshifts just as fast as a dual clutch transmissions, but obviously not as fast on the downshift as a dual clutch. And for me, especially from a sport perspective, the transmission makes or breaks the car. And obviously this is on a manual, so some of you right away will probably give the thumbs down just because of the fact that it's a manual, but manuals are fun. I'm not the best manual driver, but sometimes you just want to go fast. And if you want to go fast, boy, I'll tell you this. As you guys saw from my first takeaway, that transmission was hauling. It was straight hauling on that. You guys gonna laugh at my new sensor words, the sounds, but I'm not gonna give it away. But yeah, Jerry, how you feeling riding a shotgun right now? Like, how you feeling comfortable wise?
I'm good. I'm chill. I'm cool. Look, as long as you don't kill me, we
none of that here. I don't need those problems. But overall, like, honestly, I'm not even sure where I am. I've never been here, and I live in LA all my life.
Really?
I've never been around here. I mean, I know where I am, but like, I've never been through this particular neighborhood.
It's like hidden.
Yeah, it's very secluded. I'm actually very surprised.
And the houses are so nice. You coming down here with noise.
You know, you're gonna be looking out the windows like, what's all that racket?
Wake up the neighbors.
But I mean, if you're a sport aficionado or not, I think you can appreciate how this car sounds, even if you don't like cars, even if you're not, like I said, even if cars are an afterthought to you. I think this car sounds so good that you'll respect it. You may not like it because it's so loud, but you'll respect it.
Oh, everybody likes a loud car.
Well, tell that to the people that live next to someone that has a loud car starting it up at 5 a.m. every morning. But overall though, I'm super impressed by this car. It's very composed. It doesn't feel like, you know, all the horror stories that I've heard about Mustangs before, where, you know, like, there's no creaks, there's no rattles, it's comfortable, it's fast, it feels great in every sense of the word, in every aspect that I can think of. Like, so I'm just trying to find myself back on the main street, to be honest. I didn't realize I came into Wonderland back here. I was just trying to go straight forward and see when I'd buck up into a main street again. But like I said, oh my god, this is intoxicating. Ferrari, California. You made the wrong choice there, buddy. Thought it was a good one, then I saw it was a California. But anyway, back into this 2018 GT. This transmission, boy, I tell you, it really is. I have, well, I mean, obviously, because there's very few cars that has a transmission like this, but this feels as close to a dual clutch that I've driven before. I've driven my friend's M4. Shout out to you, Ben. And that obviously shifts fast, and you know, BMW is known along with Porsche with their dual clutch transmissions and the shifting speed, but this transmission is incredible. The days of saying that automatics ruin the fun, at least in my opinion, are over, because this transmission makes this car fun. Like, I'm gonna do a little pull right here.
Watch out for the grocery shopper.
But I mean, that shift right there was insane. I clicked the paddle and my finger didn't even release from the paddle for this car to have shifted gear so fast. What is there? Was that a Vaughn's here in the middle, like basically nowhere?
It was Vaughn's.
There's
the lady with the basket.
This is so weird. I lived in LA all my life and I've never known to just seclude a little area. This is completely different. That's a beautiful house, by the way.
It is a beautiful house.
Did all sorts of tangents, you know. I hope people, but see, that's what my channel is about, you know. It's not all button, suit, and ties. It's everything incorporated in the video with whatever we see. Like I said, you saw Ferrari driving across the city, you know, that person probably lives around here. If he doesn't, I don't know what he's doing around here, because I'm lost. So he might be lost too. But we heading back to the main street. I know more or less where I'm going. You know, one thing I love about LA is that you always know what direction you're going in. You know, if you know you're going east, you're gonna end up hitting a main street, regardless. You know, whether it be like Western, Crenshaw, you know, scenic, you're gonna run into a main street that'll point you back in the right path. But again, back in the 2018 Mustang GT. I'm in a residential neighborhood. I took the wrong turn. I just want to go fast.
Gotta find a place, man.
I'm about to, because you know this is what you guys want to see. But I hope you guys can hear this car. It's like I said, I can't speak enough about. And I'm not even a V8 guy. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm not the biggest V8 fan. But this particular V8 though, I wouldn't necessarily change my mind. It's definitely warrants respect though, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And realistically speaking, I don't think you guys can ever really, I don't think you guys can call these cars with a 10-speed automatic 5 slow anymore. This is not slow. It's no longer in the hands of prepubescent teenagers that don't know the inkling of how to drive. This is a 10-speed automatic, boy. This will dump on most cars on the road. It feels great. Oh yes, we got a shirt of it right here. Woo! First gear.
Turn up.
It's lit. It's crazy how many gears that flips through, and it sounds so weird because like you expect and you want to hear it hit off the red line and, you know, it drop back down in the revs a little bit.
Sitting there shaking. I'm like, I got
it's intense, but this transmission, it's so close together, the gears, that when you hit red line, when you shift gear at 7,500 RPMs, it drops back down to like 7,000, and it goes back and it goes back and it goes back and forth. There's no lapse, which is crazy. But I will notice that the first like 3 gears, the first gear is, you feel it. Second, third, and fourth seems a little, it's weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it really translates in the passenger, but like second gear through third to fourth gear feels a little, not necessarily lackluster, but you're not feeling the same pull. But once you hit fifth gear, it just turns into another level, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. And like I said, it's really difficult to really convey because, like I said, we really are in traffic, and it sucks because I really want to show you guys more or less what this car is all about. But I mean, overall, the steering is nice and weighted. Even though I have it in comfort mode, let me put the steering in sport mode. So there's normal, comfort, and sport. I'm gonna put it in sport and see if it changes. And I think it's fine in normal. It was definitely weighted enough, and it translates enough feedback to me. But like I said, I just put it in sport mode. So steering is in sport mode. So let me just make a little right here. Going through traffic like hot knife through butter. Alright, come on Prius. Why are you slowing down? Why are you slowing down? Jesus. People.
It's scared.
Move!
It's scared.
Third gear. Go down. Whoa, man, that was clean. Whoa, I tell you one thing though. Look what's to my left. Oh my god, if I would have kept it going forward. You see, see what I'm risking, you guys? I wonder if the camera will catch it. But yeah. Oh no, you may have been worried when you hear this car drive past, but no, I was not expecting highway patrolling. But overall, man, this car, honestly, I really genuinely like this car. This is a really nice car. There's a slight bend here. Let me see how it feels. Oh, the steering is nice and weighted in sport mode. It's translating enough feedback to me. The rear end as a Mustang felt a little too bouncy for me. It felt a little weird right there. But overall, like I said, never power through a corner, people. That's how you get killed. But it felt I don't know, it's weird. Let me try and get this little corner right here. But overall, I'm impressed. This steering wheel is giving me feedback that I would want. It's still a little light, I would assume this is electric power steering. But like I said, just listen to that Coyote scream though. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, man. You gotta get another one of these, man. I'm a BMW guy, and even that's what I love about doing this, because it teaches me to respect other cars, and this feels so good. Smooth. It's so smooth, like there's no lapse in power or anything like that, because I remember you telling me earlier, you know, you had the, you know, what was it, like a 2016 or 2017 Mustang, and obviously everyone knows that I had the crappy, for lack of a better word, very transmission in it.
Yeah.
But this 10-speed, if you're gonna do the 2018, get the 10-speed. Don't get the stick shift, because if you're gonna get the stick shift, if you want a stick shift, save some money and do like a 2017, did a 2016. But this 10-speed auto completely changes the Mustang, and it's like I said, as I mentioned, it's no longer the 5 slow. It's a 5. You better watch your mouth. You better watch out, because man, this feels like it'll keep up with my car, and I'm not stock. And to be honest, with this 10-speed, it probably would hurt my feelings, to be honest, because I'm so used to embarrassing Mustangs. I think this might be the first Mustang that would embarrass me, because the RPMs of this 10-speed shifts, it keeps the Mustang in its power band the entire time. And what more can you ask? Like, you have continuous fun through each gear. Like, I intentionally went half throttle through some of those shifts, just as you guys just seen, and then went full throttle, and then half throttle, and then full throttle again, and it just feels so good. And then you hear that nice little crack with that nice little burp with that nice little whip. Woo, man. Am I changing your mind? You might think about trying to get this again, huh?
All right. Man, I had so much fun, but this one is, thanks for telling me about the 10-speed.
No, yeah, like I said, this is new to me too. We both learning something over here.
You know, 10-speed is definitely a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, like I said, you were a personal owner of a previous one, and that was what, 6-speed, right? 6-speed. And yeah, this, even I know, and I never even drove your car or the previous generation Mustang, but even I know when a transmission makes something, because I never really felt a transmission like this. It's still weird to know and realize and understand that this is 10 gears, but man, I can see why it costs so much now, but at the same time, the price that it is now, the price bracket that it's in, you get into a lot of good competition for what these cars are going for now. And like I said, realistically speaking, you're spending upwards of close to, if not a little bit more than $50,000 for a brand new fully optioned 2018 Mustang Performance Pack GT Premium with all the bells and whistles, the 401A package. Like I said, I wish this one had the digital dash. Again, it does not, but as I said before, with the whole kind of retro style gauges, it's not too bad. You got the digital screen in the middle with the RPMs and the speed on the left and right. But yeah, we got a Camaro over here. Oh god, that Camaro interior for this generation is awful. I can see inside of it. I'm just like,
she got the ugly one too.
Damn, stall around.
Those are the ones I hated though.
Those yeah.
Those are garbage.
No, honestly, that interior compared to this is garbage. I can't even front. But when I did my 2018 Camaro SS review, Redline Edition, that was actually pretty good. That interior, it's honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it's comparable, but this is just a slight step above that interior, if I'm being completely honest. There was a little bit too much use of plastics in that car to me, and it was just too small. Yeah. This interior, it's weird because that car weighs more.
I believe that.
And it feels smaller. It's weird comparing these two pony cars, the Camaro and the Mustang. I mean, they've been competing for like what, the last 60 years?
Yeah.
Or somewhere along those lines. So
you think Camaro owners who watch your page is gonna get mad because we called their car garbage?
I mean, that generation is garbage. I'm pretty sure that's the 5th generation. I'll be the first to say it. That one is garbage. The new one though, I gave it a thumbs up. I didn't like the transmission in that one. It was pretty bad. I give it 1 thumbs up too. But like I said, this transmission was actually co-developed with GM, which owns Chevrolet. So it'll be really interesting to see what sort of tuning they'll do for the 2019 Camaro and how it'll transform the LS in that car, because it completely transformed the Coyote in this car, and that's the truth. And like I said, could I wholeheartedly recommend this car? Yes. If you have the money, by all means, it's worth it. But if you're on the fence and you still want a Coyote, and you're looking for like, ooh man, that steering wheel is nice, boy, I tell you. This is an all-around nice package. I really do enjoy this car. I'm not, just because it's my first car review at Airport Marina Ford, no, trust me. If this was a piece of I would be honest. Even if it could have been my first and last video at Airport Marina Ford, to be honest. But like I said, if realistically speaking, Ford really stepped it up with this car, and I'm very pleased with this, because I can honestly say, would I own this car? Absolutely. Absolutely, I would own this car. But would I spend $50,000 on it?
Yes. It's not $50,000, all right? It's $46,474.
All right. What if I want a little bit more options? Like, what if I want the 401A? What if I want, like, you know, Magna-Ride, you know, the
right,
performance pack?
You happy with this one?
I honestly I am, but I would for my personal use, I need the digital dash.
You need the digital dash?
I need the digital dash. I need to see the digital dash.
Digital dash is an extra what? 2-3 grand?
Is it really?
Yeah, it really is.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that 46 is now at 50.
Yeah.
Just like I said.
Digital dash is gonna get you 50. That's a performance package.
Well, as I was telling Jerry earlier, don't settle. If you can afford it, don't skip on some options, because you're gonna regret it later. Get what you want and get what makes you happy. And to be perfectly honest, if I could afford it right now, I'd be like, Jerry, let's go crunch the numbers. Honestly, like I'm not bullshitting or anything like that. I really do like this car. It has the steering that I would like. It's comfortable. It really rides really well. I'm amazed at how well this car rides. I'm kind of confused, because when it comes to sport cars, I'm so used to a car, at least my car anyway, because I have a very stiff sport suspension on it. You know, I'm kind of just like especially driving through Inglewood. You know, I'm just over here kind of bouncing around sometimes, and I hit a pole. I'm like, Lord Jesus, my damn front tire blew off, and so I'm just thinking, here like, man. But like I said, we got the AC on. You could use a little bit of tin in here, you know, some ceramic coating up in here. But other than that, I'm booling. You're booling. We chilling. This is Views from the Heart. It's your boy Jeameave. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video is now coming to a close. I wholeheartedly recommend the 2018 Mustang GT Premium with the performance pack. It blew my expectations out the water, and I had very high expectations. And if you're gonna get a 2018, make sure you get the 10-speed auto, because if you did a 6-speed, you played yourself. Did the 10-speed auto. Even if you love driving, even if you want a manual, did the 10-speed auto, because that's what you're paying the premium price for. And if you want a 2018 so bad, wait 2 years, let the first person that's buying it take the depreciation, come down to Airport Marina Ford. They'll have some used ones too, obviously, and they'll hook you up nice. But other than that, like I said, this has been a lovely and blessed opportunity. Thank you so much, Doug. Thank you so much, Jerry, and Airport Marina Ford. You know what? I love this car. I really do.
Sold?
Sold. Sold. If I had $50,000. But overall, like I said, I hope you guys know the video. This is your boy Jeameave. This is Views from the Heart. It's Jerry sitting with me shotgun. Hopefully you'll be seeing me with many more videos to come. Oh, show this green light right here. Hold up. Oh, we good? Okay, one more last pull. Woo! Oh my god. God is giving me winging a prayer right here. We got another shred away. You ready, Jerry? You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Trying to experience this 10-speed auto one last time before I park it?
Yeah.
Whew, green light, let's go. Oh my God. Oh yes. Oh my. We won't talk about the speed there, but Jesus, man. Oh, I hope you guys can see the happiness on my face, because that was worth any ticket I could have possibly done there, honestly. Well, actually, that may have been jail time, but who cares? We're pulling in the Airport Marina Ford right now. It's your boy Jeameave, this is Views from the Heart. I said it like 4 times by now, but I hope you guys enjoyed that very last tidbit. Have a blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Your boy's out.